Greetings! When a technical company expands their team, how can they train those new hires quickly in the deep and specialized knowledge that is the bread and butter of the company? I'm actually a recovering geek. I don't know whether you realize this, but I have a PhD in chemistry, and the first 8 years of my career I spent working with physicists and engineers of all stripes, and we developed detectors. And we had, core technologies with names such as nuclear, quadrupole resonance, magnetic resonance, and magnetic sensing. And we solved a lot of different types of problems with those core technologies. So, in this broadcast, what I want to talk to you real quick about is how can you bring very quickly highly trained engineers and PhDs and other, technical experts, how can you bring them up to speed on the specific deep knowledge that is your bread and butter? Because let's face it, what you do is unique. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have a competitive edge. And therefore, there is still some learning curve hires have to go through. Now, how can you do that? Well, traditionally, what we have done, and that's been at least my experience, is we have, slowly but surely onboarded these highly trained experts and paired them with people who've been at the company longer, and little by little, they're nurtured up the learning curve. But things aren't the way anymore that they used to be. First of all, some of our senior employees are retiring because the baby boomer wave is upon us, and then the retirement wave, I mean. And then, secondly, a lot of younger people don't stay at jobs as long anymore. I recently saw a situation where a younger engineer was paired up with a more senior engineer. This person was supposed to learn the ropes from the older one before he retired. And guess what? A few months of this transfer of knowledge, that person said, I really want to work somewhere else and left. And so this is what we want to talk about is it's really you can get two things, feed two birds with the same seed, because I don't like this killing two birds with one stone metaphor. All right. So if you can onboard new hires effectively, then um, that's really just about the same as or the same effort that you need to do to make sure that you're prepared for succession planning. The first step, giving you some concrete tips now, is to identify what really makes your company unique. What is that unique knowledge? And to just jot down a few ideas of that. All right. So let's say if you're in software development and you're working in a specialty area, then you're going to probably hire software developers, but they know nothing about the specialty area. So the interface between software development and that specialty area is probably an area that you need to train new hires on. And so you could create very quickly a training program that helps with that. And if you actually are using some of these senior people in your company to extract that material from their heads, then you're at the same time preparing yourself for the time when they will retire, because sooner or later everybody retires. So how specifically do you do this? Well, you write down, first of all, just do some brainstorming. What is it that we need to teach them? And then secondly, let's think about what materials do we already have. Now, chances are that some of the materials you already have are very useful, and they're probably not prepared in a way that they're conducive to training new hires, because it's probably more like drinking out of a fire hose rather than getting a sip and then another sip and another sip. But it's really pretty easy to break this content down give it a proper introduction, and within a few weeks, you really could be in the position where you're already making money with this training program because you can onboard new hires more quickly, and you can prepare yourself for the time when people are dropping out of your team and need to be replaced. Okay, I want to keep this short since it's Friday, and I want to just invite you. I want to invite you to a Q&A where we're talking about this, and I want to make this invite specifically to companies that are knowledge driven, that are probably more in the tech space. There's lots of different disciplines. It doesn't matter which of those disciplines you're in, but you have experts in your company, on your team, and you understand the problems that we just talked about. So if you'd like to be part of a Q&A where we just discuss this, and maybe also discuss how AI can accelerate that knowledge transfer that I've talked about here, that please come to this Q&A. I'll put the link underneath here, and have a great weekend. Ciao.